What's up, everybody? Welcome to the American Youth Show, episode 2. Woo! We got one out of the way. My name is Mr. Big OG or Dr. Matt, whatever you want to refer me by, or whatever I feel like identifying as that day. Because, of course, if everybody else can do it, I can do it too. And my co-host, what's up, bro?
What's up? Well, let's see what we're gonna hit on today.
What's your name, dude?
My name is Mike, and I'm here to talk. So let's get the talk going.
And this is an American You original,
an OG one.
So I wanted to talk. Well, what we were going to talk about today, we talked on the phone a little bit earlier, and we were going to compare Gen X, which I am, born 1974. I don't know. What are you? You're like
no, I'm what I'm
right?
What I'm called is an ex-lennial. So I actually have a certain type of, they call it the Oregon Trail generation. So I was born in 1980. So it's like we're kind of in between Gen X and millennials.
You said Oregon Trail, motherfucker.
Yeah,
you've never been on the Oregon Trail.
Dude, what are you talking about? I played that thing every day, all day. That was the funnest game in school, dude. That was our fun time, was going in there and playing Oregon Trail, dude. And that's what defined my definition, or my era. So it's like and that's pretty much from, like, I'd say about 78 till probably about 85.
I don't know about that, man. I think Gen X goes all the way up to 80, but I don't know. Or 1979.
Well, that's what it says it does. But the thing is okay, what we have is we have
you ever heard that song from Smashing Pumpkins, 1979? Doom, 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 doom.
Yeah, but okay.
1979, it stopped. You're not Gen X. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, I don't really care, dude. That's the thing. And I'm glad. Hey, the older I get, the later the year I was born, the more happier I am, dude.
Well, you know what? I got something to tell you today. Today's the oldest you've ever been. Right now.
Oh, I know.
It's the oldest you've ever been. So anyway, I'm a Gen X. My counterpart here is half breed, half Gen X. So he has his own category, I guess, that goes in. I think it's like a 2 or 3 year span, but we're both pretty much Gen Xers. And let's talk about, what about these new generations, man? What the fuck is wrong with these people?
Well, what you're not understanding, there's a generation in between Gen X, and now the new generation is Zoomers. So the Zoomers are not millennials.
What the fuck is
and people Zoomer? A Zoomer are the new kids. Those are the 20-year-olds. The millennials now are the 30-year-olds, the late 20-year-olds, from pretty much about 40 till probably like 28. Those are millennials. After there is the Zoomers, and the Zoomers are the ones that are just out of control.
What generation is the participation trophy generation?
It was the end of the millennial, and Zoomers have carried that ever since, and that's all it's about, dude. Yes,
like they want to be praised for being losers.
Yes, your last place, it's okay, dude. You know, you still get a trophy, and you know what? Not even that, you should get a better trophy, dude, and you should be honored. On everybody.
Be really big, right?
Yeah.
Let's train everybody to be losers. You know, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Hey, we're only competing in a competition to see who the best is, but let's encourage people to be the worst.
Matter of fact,
it's crazy.
Yeah, let's take the participation trophy people and put them in a F-15 and have them go fly that thing around for a while. You know what I mean? Because I just watched the new Top Gun, so I'm all Top Gunned out right now. So I'm like,
well, you're saying the guys that actually won the prize versus the ones that came in 15th.
Yeah,
throw the ones in 15th and say, go out and go. Yeah, throw you in a $20 million jet and go. We're gonna trust you to fly that thing.
Yeah, what are these kids gonna do one day when they get someone asks them a question like, hey, did you play sports in high school? Be like, yeah, man. Be like, I got like 5 participation trophies. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, are these guys?
Hey, it may be cool in the future, though. In the future, maybe it's like your boss in there is like, what? You got 5 participation trophies? I only got 3.
Yeah.
And he shows his participation trophy.
Okay,
so we don't know,
The thing about this generation is it's kind of fucked. Dude, I can't even call. So, number one, I want to touch on the generation that is saying it's okay to be big and it's okay to be overweight, and their kids are overweight as well. And if you say something about it, instead of being constructive criticism like it was in our day. Because when you tell somebody without being rude,
Well, you're fat shaming him.
yeah, you're fat shaming now. But they put it, this generation that we have here and a little bit of the ones before, all over the they're having plush models, and like it's okay. And if you say something about it, then you're shaming them, and that would be the participation error. Like it's okay to be unhealthy. Is that what it is?
Well, and then it's not even that, it's that it's being celebrated. So you have these, and and listen, I have no disrespect towards anybody. I've been a fat guy many times in my life, and I did not feel good about it. I had to lose weight. It was not very fun to do.
Right? But you feel
yeah,
like
man, dude, it was hard. I dropped 70 pounds. That wasn't tough or easy to do. So it's like, it's not an easy thing to do. So yeah, and I felt it. But the thing is when I was just blown out, just drinking every day, just screwed up, like I didn't feel good about myself. These people are coming out and saying, "Oh, dude, I love myself. I love my body." They know that they are not, that their body isn't healthy. And I'm not saying that somebody that's overweight or somebody that we would say is overweight is unhealthy, but people know whether they're unhealthy. But what's happening is they're trying to say, "Oh, don't body shame," which is giving people a reason to stay unhealthy and saying it's okay for you to be that way. It's okay. And they're just body shaming you. And then you get a lot of those people that wind up losing weight and are like, "Oh man, I can't believe I lived that way." And it's like, yeah, like, you felt worse. You were overweight. You were unhealthy. Like, why do you want to live that way? It's not shaming you. It's telling you, like,
not only why do you want to live that way, but why do you want to raise your kids to think that it's okay to look like that?
Yeah. What, do you want your kids to be unhealthy?
And then they say, "Oh, my kid gets bullied in school." Well, first of all, I mean, fuck bullies regardless. I'm not saying that that's okay, but
they're around.
But they are around, and they're kind of feeding the fire, by allowing your kids to get super overweight like that. I mean, I was watching a study that said that 2/3 of American children are going to be diabetics because of the way that they're fed. No one takes the time to feed them and stuff like that. But that's this generation. They think it's okay to praise that, and if you say something negative about it, you get banned, or you're a fat shamer, or you're
a bigot.
They'll even call you a racist for that. They'll even call you
you're a racist for anything.
Yeah,
now, it's like that's their main word, and it's just straight up, "Hey, you racist, bigot." Bigot doesn't have the sting that racist has. So when they call you a racist, they got you.
What is the thing? I was watching the NFL. I watched the game today. Chargers. You can see my thing in the back. Chargers. Yeah, we whooped up on the Raiders, though. I mean, so it doesn't matter.
Big deal. Wow.
Let's get into that. But on all the NFL helmets, it said, "Stop racism." And I don't think racism is as prominent as they're claiming that it is. And I don't think it's really there as much as they're saying that it is. And if it is, it comes in all forms. Any person could be racist. But we had the racist discussion yesterday. But I just mean, like, okay, anything that's done today, and anything that, like, a lot of these guys that are what's the generation you're calling them?
Zoomers. They're Generation Z.
Okay, a lot of these, Gen Zs. Okay, so a lot of these Gen Zs are YouTubers, and most of the children and the youth today watch YouTube and watch these guys. So anything these guys are doing or saying, people are going to follow along. So what's going to happen in 20 years when these guys are the ones that are running the country and running all the big businesses and stuff? Are they even going to be able to handle it? Because they fucking cry about everything.
Yeah, well, what's going to happen with all the guys that are running it? They're gonna change just like we changed. You got to think the difference was.
What do you mean? You were never.
Hold on. Hold on.
You were never like.
Hey, we weren't. We were West Side, East Side. We'll smack you up. We were little. Little thug gangsters, didn't care about anything. Okay, when we were younger, when we got into that, we were never into this.
First off,
woe is me, or politics. Yeah, we weren't a weak generation. I should say that.
No,
okay, but the thing is that you still grow up and you change. So I think that a lot of these Zoomers is seems like Jake Paul and all those guys is once they hit a certain age, they change from being kids into being like more towards adults. And what then happens is the ones that become adults, they're going to wind up pulling away from the other ones that want to keep having all these stupid fantasy, ideology, gender issues, all this stuff. So you're going to have just more of a divide.
Yeah, well, I will tell you this, before we're going further, as we all know, today is 9/11, and I want to, my thoughts go out to everybody who lost a family member to to our own government that fucking was corrupt, and they did that bullshit. Just wanted to say that real quick and move on. So what else? So these guys are,
everybody with 9/11. I want to say the same thing. It's like, guys, anybody that's out there, like, I'm sorry, we were both of age watching it live.
Yeah,
I was awake, man. I watched the first one hit. I watched the second one hit. First one, I was like, oh no, it's just a plane that crashed. Second one hit. I was like, oh my goodness.
Well, we know
terrorism.
We all know that it wasn't terrorism. That was our government.
I'm not talking about that. I'm saying what I saw at 21 years old watching it on TV. I was like, okay.
And so the ones that are today, these Gen Zers, when that happened, they weren't even around, right? They were like one.
No, they're like all post 9/11, which is insane. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. It's like they don't even remember that, as we're like all like 9/11. They're like, what? I wasn't even live.
Look at that. They think they make unrational. First of all, their rationality is completely out the door. There's nothing rational about that generation. And another thing about that generation is they have zero respect.
Zero respect.
They don't know what respect is. They don't know. So they'll call you out like on the internet. They talk shit on the internet all day, or they'll pick fights with people. And there was just this one guy who was doing that shit, playing internet games, ended up getting smoked. I made a video about that on my TikTok, but you don't play games like that. And so they think that they can just walk up to people and run their mouth and nobody's going to do anything and disrespect people. But eventually they're going to cross that one guy who's going to be like, what the fuck did you just say to me? They
live in a different time than us. Back in the day, back in the day, you didn't have technology and cell phones and stuff like that. When you're running your mouth in front of somebody, and that person doesn't like it, they're going to smack you. And that's what happened. Now it's all of a sudden, we've all been smacked. Yeah, and that's the thing. But none of them have.
No.
And maybe we need to be smacked. Because maybe we should all be smacked.
Well, even though I was playing, like when I went to my first time in prison, when I was playing, I was with my boy, and I thought we were tight. Well, we were tight, and we stayed tight. I thought we were cool, and I was just joking around. There's like 6 of us in a circle, and we're chilling, and I'm like, man, I laughed, and I'm like, fucking lame, and I called him a lame dude, like right in front of his fucking face, dude.
You can't do that.
I call him a lame, and he looks at me, and he's just like, bah, just fucking smacks the shit out of me, and he had a little bit of juice in there, and I was like, fuck, dude, what do I do? Do I move on this dude? So I went to rush him, and then I thought about it. I'm like, fuck, dude, maybe I shouldn't have said that, because he's been around, he's done time before, and he tried to give me that schooling. And even prisoners today, people coming out of prison, I mean, they still maintain that respect. And a lot of time, but these guys that are these silver spoon fed college kids that are coming out and claiming that they want this, and this is their right, and this is their right, and this is their right. They need to go to prison or learn some respect,
or the military, man. The military would help that right out.
Yeah, they'll sit there and
nobody wants a draft, and I don't want a draft. I want my kids going in there. But what about maybe a 3-month boot camp every little
draft the woke?
No, what about this? What about this? Instead of that, what about a 3-month boot camp every kid's got to go to? And they got to go there, and it's no indoctrination. There's no this, that, anything, but they got to do health. They got to understand basics, how to understand people, just some course on life. And they get a certificate that gives them a job to go work somewhere or do something,
Well, they don't, but see, the problem with these kids is they don't know what respect is. That's the problem. So the generation of the Gen Xers, they're all at, this point of our lives where we have money, we have this, and we work a lot. So we didn't get a chance to spend as much time with our kids because we're constantly working.
Which
And so, yeah, which really sucks. And I have an issue with that. And that's a big problem for me, especially with my kids now. I mean, I'm 47 and I got young kids.
same with me,
But
just a lot.
but what it is the parents didn't pay, enough attention. So they were pretty much raised by the internet. So any narrative out there that they just fall for it real quick, they just join in, they become opportunists, and it's just fucked up. Marching in the streets saying that, oh, you can use, now we want, they made up their own, first of all, they made up their own language. They have their own language.
Yeah, I don't understand it, and they expect me to learn it.
One of the big ones is like bruh with a H at the end.
My son says that all the time. Instead of bro, they say bra. That's
bruh.
That's like that's the same.
Another
as
one is like,
no,
they'll be
that's
like,
not one.
They're like, that shit is so cringe. It reminds me of like The Cure, like some shit that
everybody says that. But Matt, what did we say? Oh, that's whack. Oh, that sucks, man. That's bunk.
I mean, most of the time we were just like, dude, that's fuck.
Yeah, that's bunk. We would say stuff.
I didn't. No, we didn't.
We had language.
Dude, it's way different today. They wear really tight ass fucking pants.
Yeah, well, that's different.
Tight ass pants, dude, and they have embraced this culture, the culture that they have now. They're okay. You know how you have supposedly you got like Hispanic culture, you have black culture, right? Well, they actually have their own culture. Doesn't matter what color they are. It's a culture that.
Yeah, you just can't. You can't be white and you can't be straight. That's the thing. You can't be white or straight or even just white and straight, male or female. If you're a female, maybe you can get away with it if you've got a lot of gay friends. But if you're a white straight man, dude, you are El Diablo, dude. You're done. You're straight Satan in everybody's eyes, dude.
You know what busts me up about that is that so where's my white privilege, bro? That 15 years that I did in the prison system, I didn't have any white privilege. I watched that comedian Theo Vaughn. He's the same way. He's like, where's my white privilege? I never had any.
I didn't have it.
No, but the ones who were saying, but listen to me, and I want you to just get this generation. The ones who are saying that we have white privilege have white privilege themselves. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. It's a lot of self-hating, self-deprecating people that come from wealth. Their parents, they live in Orange County in a $5 million house. But then they want to come out and call all white people terrible and that they suck and all this and that. Where it's like,
yeah,
that's not every white person, dude. Go to Quail Valley, go to Moreno Valley, and go see some white people, and you're not going to see them the same as Orange County.
You're missing my point. My point is that the ones that are saying that whites are evil and that we have white privilege are actually people with white privilege. White people.
That's what I just said. They're the ones that are in Orange County, and they're the ones in Orange County in their parents' $5 million houses. And they've got everything that they want, but then they're going on and posting all these TikToks and everything, telling us how bad we are when they themselves aren't dealing with it.
None of them had ever no struggle whatsoever. The ones that are claiming this never had any struggle whatsoever. And me personally, I mean, I've had a hella struggle, and a lot of people have. And we understand the way things work, and we understand the way that it's run. The world is run, and these guys have no clue. And I think it's going to hit them in the face one day, and they're going to be like, what the fuck did we do? Like, what did we do? A lot of, I'm not really into politics, but a lot of Democrats even today are like, what did we do? Like, why did they
breed that? Why did they embrace that?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's what it is. It's called give an inch, take a mile. It's what happened is they gave the inch, and then instead of saying, okay, we got that inch, we're cool, and now we're all equal. It's like, no, now you need to get on your hands and knees, and you need to apologize to me, and you need to now accept. Now I need, we need our teachers in there telling your second grader about non-binary and all this other stuff, where I'm like, dude, I don't want my kid knowing about sex, period. But it's like, hey, too bad. This is how it is now.
Yeah. What that's most of the teachers today, or the younger teachers, are in that generation as well. That's their generation. I mean, they're fresh out of college, and that's where all that
Exactly.
college is like a breeding ground for that ideology.
Yep.
And I mean, when Ben Shapiro goes and he debates, they protest outside. They don't want him there because they don't want to let anybody say, and you may not agree with Ben Shapiro's beliefs, or the next man might not, but everyone has the right to talk, and they protest it. So all the colleges and universities are the breeding ground for this ideology. Not only that, and fucking college is a big scam anyway. You know, maybe we'll talk about that on a different podcast. But college is a huge
I
scam
definitely think it is.
because
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
just puts people in debt, and it's the only debt you can't BK. You know,
well,
that and taxes. Like, you're stuck with them for life.
yeah,
You know,
well,
you go on there, you can make any mistake in real estate, any mistake in any business, but you go in and seek a better education, you're screwed. You're stuck with that tax debt. And that's thanks to good old Joe Biden, which everybody, you know, all the leftists love, or the leftists don't like him, the liberals love. Where it's like, you know, leftists actually see right through that stuff. They're
well,
like, dude, this guy's a clown.
this is the thing I see about college is, you know, people think, well, if you go to college, the majority of the time, okay, most people that end up going to college, they end up working for somebody else. They don't do their own shit. You know, they're constantly, they're gonna go work for a firm. If they went to Harvard, let's go join
Makes
the
me think about what
firm.
happened to my dad.
Yeah, let's do this, let's do that. Um, but they don't have any street smarts, man. And I think that you need street smarts and experience in order to survive. Like
Listen to
me,
this. My dad graduated from USC he was like on the top 50 deans list. Graduated with honors, really smart. He got full ride scholarship to Annapolis, turned that down, went to USC. His last day of a class, they said, everybody who's going to go out and go work for a corporation, or the one of his professors said it, and he's like, stand up. Half the people stand up. Who's going to go out and work for this and do this and open up their own law firm? All these people. So who's going to go out there and go make it on your own, and you're going to hustle, get your own business? And my dad and one other dude stood up. He said, look at these two guys. They just wasted 4 years of their life. And he wasn't joking, dude. My dad had you know what my dad's USC scholarship did for him? During football games, during football games, he could pull that thing out and say, look, dude, I'm a real fan.
I'm an alum.
Yeah, I'm alum.
Well, that's like, I have a cousin, my cousin the same way. I mean, he went to school, and then he went to graduate school and everything, and he works for Merrill Lynch. He works for somebody else, though. So he doesn't run his own program. He's under, you know, and I like to be on top. And that's one thing that we learned from, you know, number one, growing up in the 80s, number two, being street smart. I mean, street smart.
I couldn't work for people.
Make sure everything. I can't anyway. When you place yourself in a situation like I did, I had to really grind to get where I'm at today. And I had no help. And I knew that there was no way that getting out of incarceration when I'm 35 years old, that somebody's going to hire me and I'm going to work my way up the ladder and be successful. I had to be an entrepreneur myself. I had to figure it out myself to be in the position. And you know me, you know, I didn't have shit. Remember when I first came started working for you, bro? I had that fucking beat up ass Ford.
Yeah, I remember. Like, you know, yeah, like that. Well, that's what I'm saying.
But I knew working for you wasn't going to make me rich.
It wasn't going to give you crap, but it was going to help me out and then help you out. It was just work.
It was
stuff
just
to do, you know,
a thing. And then I went and got another job. And then with that job, wasn't working out. I was like, fuck this. I got to do this on my own. And I did. And I became successful and very successful. And I didn't even become successful until I was 37 years old. That's 10 years. I'm 47 now. I'm about to be 48. So college is a bad investment as far as I'm concerned. I think you need to have some kind of street smarts. And most of the entrepreneurs that are, you know, doing really well today didn't go to college. Most of them didn't even graduate high school.
No, they knew what they wanted to do and they did it. And that's the thing. If you're smart and you know what you're going to do, it's whether you need a degree or not. If you want to work for somebody else,
if you're a doctor,
and they say you want a degree, you want to be a doctor, you got to have a degree. If you want to go and open up a bunch of restaurants, you want to take over this, you want to do that, you know how to cook, you understand business, you don't need anything. You just do it. You go out and you handle it. You want to open a landscaping landscaping company. You do it. You want to open up a house
Whoa,
flipping
bro,
company.
that's racist.
You do it. What do you mean? House flipping, race, landscaping?
Landscaping companies, bro. You can't
Oh,
talk
why?
about
What?
in this day and age. That shit's racist.
Oh, why? Because what?
Not
Oh, because it's all Mexican thing. I know more white people that own landscaping companies. I actually do around here, Orange County and Riverside County.
Yep,
But
don't care. It doesn't matter.
I know it's just that's the thing is that's what people think now, and that bugs me is that if you have a worker, okay, who's a hardworking, Mexican, okay, people automatically look at him and think you're hiring Mexican labor or something. You're like cheaping it out or something. They know nothing about this,
bro.
Listen, that happens all over around us, dude.
Well, first of all, they're not cheap anymore.
Oh no, dude. That's what I'm saying. They're same price, anyways, dude.
And they work very, very, very fucking hard,
an hour,
man.
Yeah, and they work their butts off.
The difference between them and the people, the youngsters today, because if you want to hire laborers and get labor done, dude, like, why do you keep? If you want to hire laborers and get labor,
for my water, you keep saying, why do I keep?
Yeah, because there's a desk. You should be able to just grab
it. But I don't want to spill on my other stuff. Is why.
So it looks like it looks like your head's going down there to suck a dick. Is what it's doing. You're like you're giving a couple.
Okay, well, I'm not, dude.
Hey, I don't know that you're not.
Hey, he's on to us, dude. He's on to us, dude. Hey, okay, get out of here, dude. Let me finish this episode.
I don't know if there's a big dick sitting right there that you keep popping on and shit. But if you want to get labor, most of the time, the labor work, you would go out and you'd get youngsters to do it, 20, 21, or 17 through 20 or whatever.
They don't want to do it.
They don't want to do it. And
you can't find them.
And then people want to talk shit when they hire, guys that actually want to work and actually want to do something and want to work hard. And
well, that's one of the things that I think people have to understand is where it comes into immigration and everything, and everybody's so against the Mexicans and stuff like that. They have to understand that they're doing jobs that the generation like us that did it isn't doing it. Like you're not going to get very few 20-year-olds like are going to come out.
You mean the Gen Zers aren't doing anything?
No, you don't get it. I'm talking when we were younger, dude. I dug ditches. I did anything I had to do. I climbed under attics or not under crawl spaces, adjusted foundations with rats, rattlesnakes everywhere.
That's because you were 200-degree, rock, bro.
No, went into 200 attics and with everything. No, I just did what I was told to do, dude. But the kids today, they don't want to do it. They won't do it. So we don't have that generation that's doing it. And they just had something posted, and it was on Breaking Points, and they were showing a poll of like there's a thing called quiet quitting. So what's happening is these Zoomers are just deciding to stop working. So they keep their job, but they just do only what they're supposed to do. So it's like if there's a piece of trash on the floor, they won't pick it up and throw it in the trash can. They'll just leave it there and say, that's not my job. You know, if the crap hits the fan and it's like, oh man, we got to get this done. We're not done. We have a 5 o'clock deadline, or everybody's leaving at 5, but it's going to take us till 6. They're like, well, I'm off at 5, and they just leave, and they leave the person on their own, dude. And that would be like, if I say with my company, I was pouring a foundation. Okay. And I had, 10 workers out there, and it took 10 of us for the concrete to pop or to finish the concrete. Well, with the concrete, depending on the weather, you never know when it's going to pop. So it could pop in 30, 40 minutes, could take 3 hours. But the thing is once that pops, it's like everybody's got to get out there. You got to finish it till it's done. If you got a bunch of Zoomers out there that are like, hey, man, I hit my time, I'm out of here. And it's like, dude, the concrete hasn't popped. I need you to stay for an extra hour. They leave. You can't just call somebody like, hey, I need 10 guys here. 5 of them just left because they don't understand work ethic. But that is what is happening with that quiet quitting thing. It hurts bosses, dude.
I don't know much about it, but I know people are.
You can't. Don't screw your boss over, dude. That's the thing.
Because you know what platform has made all these kids like that is social media. I mean, it's social media driven.
Absolutely. But you know what?
Shit.
What was
I
before
ain't gonna,
social
I ain't
media?
gonna fucking work for nobody. I ain't gonna fucking do this. I ain't gonna do that. Man, I remember when the internet first started, dude. Motherfuckers don't even like my kids. Like if they see a phone with a cord, they're like, "What the fuck is that?" I mean, they don't know. They weren't, around back then. But my fear is that these people that have these crazy ideologies are going to be the ones that are in charge when my kids are.
Well, they are. They're going to be. That's the future
And
generation, man.
the problem there.
And what I'm going to say is where social media, I agree with, was like the most detrimental thing. The internet was really bad, but what I would say is the thing that changed it the most was MTV. MTV turned from music television, all of us watching music videos, into like this crazy, the most extreme drama they could do. Like,
Misery.
I mean, everything, Jersey Shore to these dating episodes where one person goes on a date with 5 other strangers, and they're boning each one of them, they're macking down, and then they have one dude with 5 other dudes, one chick with 5 other chicks. They have one dude with 2 girls and 3 guys. Right. I mean, it's crazy.
Your voice is getting raspy. You need to go down there and take a couple more hits off that dick and come back up. So it's not.
Oh yeah, what, I got to get it.
No, but you're right. You're right. Everything turned into drama, and everything is drama.
Drama sells, dude.
Everything sells, bro. It depends on how good your marketing is, man. That's the whole thing. You know the rule. If you can have the worst product in the world, but if you can't get it out there to people, it's never going to sell. You know,
like my pillow,
the best product in the world, then you can have the worst product in the world, and your marketing be on point. You could sell the shit out of it. Like, vodka is a main example. You take a vodka, some Popoff or some other shit, and you put it in a really fancy glass bottle, and you can charge
sell the same. Yes, exact same stuff. Just pour it in, and the people that are pouring it will be showing off the bottle, like, look what I got, and it's like literally the same stuff, dude. Like,
So, but if you don't market it, but they're just lazy, and I'm scared. For my kids, I know my kids will be hard workers, even though, I leave them, whatever I leave them, they're still going to work hard because that's the way that they know that's the way that they're brought up. But the thing is the generation today, they're working so much that they're not around their kids, and their kids are growing up like this. And then if you try to tell these motherfuckers something, these Gen Zers, they completely go ballistic.
It's not that they dogpile you, dude. They'll dogpile you. Every one of them. If you want something, it's not that you're fighting one of them. You say something about one of them, it's they dogpile you. You'll have 20, 30 of them on you, just like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then the whole time they're reporting you to Facebook, or reporting you to Twitter, or reporting you to whatever. The whole time they're yelling at you.
Yeah, they'll ban you.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Cancel culture.
Well, what are we gonna do about it?
I don't think there's anything we can do about it. I mean, they should start
it has to play itself out.
Somebody should start like OG Facebook or OG Twitter, and it's like it has no rules, and it's like anybody that causes drama is thrown off. Or no, well, you can't throw them off because it's on that, but it's just open. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, but still the point. Gen Xers, I mean, we live to where we just don't give a fuck. We want less government. We don't want the government up in our shit. If I want to grow weed in my backyard, I want to be able to grow weed in my backyard.
Yeah, live and let live.
Yeah, live and let live. Leave us the fuck alone. You get your taxes, you handle your business, keep us out of wars. Don't be sending my kids out to fight for your pockets. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And leave us the fuck alone. We don't need
to keep your sexuality in your bedroom. Don't shove it in my face. Don't shove it down my kid's throat. I want my teachers to teach, or I want my kids' teachers to teach them about history, math, science, whatever it is. That's the curriculum. They don't need to hear about gender pronouns and about Pride Month and about all this other crap. I don't. If I want them to know about that, I'll tell them.
Man, how the fuck did these guys get their own month, bro?
Why don't we have straight Pride Month? What would happen if we did that, dude?
They tried that though, but they did try to start Okay, so
What happened? They did a straight pride parade and got bombed?
No,
Probably.
yeah, probably. I didn't. I, I don't believe in organizations, dude. I don't think you. The only organization you ever need to have in life is one that you know. I mean, personally, I don't trust any fucking buddy ever. But if shit goes down, you have an organization that you all get together and you know, on a survival. Other than that, fucking organization or any type of organization.
Well, you're talking about a union. You got a
Yeah,
union.
but for these guys,
different.
they tried to start something like Super Straight or some shit like that, dude, and that got shut down real quick, man. You know, you know why?
Canceled
You know
on
why?
day one.
Well, this is why.
Because they're straight.
Even though this is why. Even though us Gen Xers, right, are probably like, cool, you know, yeah, we're super straight. We don't want that shit thrown in our kids' faces. The problem is they can never get an organization like that started and rolling because the ones who believe what they're saying probably is the Gen Xers, and we just keep our mouth shut and hang out in the background.
Well, like, we don't want to get canceled.
Yeah, we're not going to go out there and fucking march down the road.
That's what I'm saying. We don't want to get canceled. We're just like, hey, dude, it's all good, dude. Just like, we're cool. We're not against you. We're not for you. We're just like, leave us alone and let us have a good life.
Yeah, like I got shit to
let
do.
Us live. Let us live. You know,
I don't have time to stand out in front of the fucking Chick-fil-A and call them shit or
I don't. It's like all I want is I want you guys out of my way so I can get my food and go home. You know,
bro, when I was a kid, listen to this. This is 80s shit. This is a good one. So when I was a kid, my mom, she was a fucking hippie, you know, and she you know, smoking weed and all that shit, whatever. And so she there were causes coming out, and at that time AIDS was real big. Rock Hudson had just died from AIDS and shit, you know. So they did this thing. Remember, We Are the World? That was a big one.
I remember that.
We Are the World.
Well, they did another. Well, Stevie Wonder, they did it going off on
feeding the children over there, right? Not a dime probably went to them, but what happened to
that? They made a lot. They made a lot of money though.
Yeah, they just forget about that, or what? Or did that just mysteriously go away? Or it's
just a lot of. I think there's actually scandals on it. If you look it up, and
is there really?
Yeah, I think there's scandals. I think all the money was stolen.
So.
Dude.
They had
look it up.
They had Michael Jackson, Cyndi Lauper, Stevie Wonder, all of them were up there singing it. Everybody was pumped up. The nation's like, yeah, let's fucking do this shit, dude. And all that money went into some scandalous, shady organization or some shit. Listen, what I was telling you is my mom's like, okay, we're going to fucking Azusa, right? I think it was Azusa, but somewhere in LA, San Gabriel Valley. And then like, we're doing this thing called Hands Across America. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm a little kid. I'm like, what's that? And it was a thing where everybody.
I know what it was. Everyone across. Dude, I remember I was around
America.
Yeah, I held hands from one side to the other side.
And I was old enough to think
Were you part of it?
Yeah, dude.
You held hands?
I had to hell and sing the song because all the radio stations played the song.
And it just went all the way down?
It's a big
people everywhere?
No, bro. I didn't think. Listen, this is the problem. So I got to thinking about this cause, you know, later on. And I was like, fuck, dude, like how'd all those people get to the desert? You know what I mean? Like, because, you know, back in the 80s, there wasn't even cities weren't even that big. They were big. There was big cities, but most of them were pretty small. I'm like,
well, once you got out of LA, you had a little bit of Riverside, and then it was nothing but desert till Vegas.
Well, listen, I think there was cuts in the chain.
I'm sure there were cuts in the chain. What, they would go over the Rockies?
I don't think that it was a smooth ride.
It wasn't a smooth ride, dude. Trust me, man. There was cuts all over the chain.
She has me out there fucking, she's doing her hippie shit, and we're sitting over in the grass.
Yeah, I can see your mom doing that too. It was funny,
picnic blanket and all this kind of shit. She probably don't remember it, bro, but I do. I remember everything, man. And we're all sitting out there, and they're like, it's time, everybody, and all these fucking people I don't even know. They're holding hands and they're swinging their hands. They're like, hands across America. And I'm just a kid, like, what the fuck am I doing here?
What's going on here, man?
Why did you drag me out here? Like, okay, so we got a problem. We got AIDS, okay, which we know we can get into that shit later on down the line. But we have AIDS now. I mean, I'd rather have AIDS than cancer. You know, give me AIDS. Don't give me the cancer shit. Give me AIDS. Because I know I can live.
Well, now it's treatable, dude. You know.
Yeah, now I can live the whole rest of my life with it. But cancer was.
But it wasn't like that. AIDS was very serious back then, man. I remember, dude. AIDS was like a death sentence, dude.
Well, yeah,
and that was scary crap, dude.
But
like,
look
dude,
who it affected,
we were scared of it, dude. But the thing is, dude, is I was a little kid, dude, and I was a little kid. I didn't understand. Here's the thing: I didn't understand sexuality. I just knew that this was a disease by blood, is what they taught me about. So it's like a friend of mine would get cut and he'd be bleeding, or like how we used to be blood brothers. You remember that stuff where we would like cut our fingers and we do blood brothers stuff. I remember doing that stuff, blood brothers, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, dude, maybe I got AIDS. You don't remember that? Like,
no, you do no shit like that, bro.
You didn't do that, dude. Your blood brothers. You cut your finger, or you cut your hand, and you guys like put your hands together, dude. Little kids, dude.
I didn't do no shit like that.
Well, dude, I did that stuff. It's called blood brothers, man, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
We all did that.
I know what blood brothers are, but I just never
third grade or third, fourth grade.
Not cut myself for anybody, you know. But
it's not cut. It's poking or cutting. It's getting blood and you push the blood together.
You know, you're that guy on the Hangover, like on the movie Hangover, when he's standing up there and he cuts his hand and he's like, gives someone else a knife. They're like, whoa, dude.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's what it was back then. Yeah.
Anyway, but she had me doing this shit, right? And I had to be involved in these things. It was a cause. But these causes never went anywhere. They did the Hands Across America. You never heard of it again. And it was over, and people pocketed probably a lot of money. So this has been going on for a lot of time. Even Live Aid. Remember, they had Live Aid and Farm Aid. They were having these benefit concerts, and nobody's getting any of this money.
You're saying it didn't do anything. Trust me. And you're saying nobody's getting any of this money. Those people got the money. The scammers got the money. It's like BLM now. BLM now is the new thing. BLM is taking the money. They're not putting money into helping, causes.
No, communities.
They're putting it into they're putting it in their pocket, man. Yeah. It's all in their pocket. And then just putting up fronts of, oh, we're this, we're that. And here's the thing. You call them out, you know what they say? You're a racist. Second they call you a racist, you're done.
They call Candace Owens a racist.
Well, Candace Owens is done then, except for the fact she's black, so she can't.
Bro.
That's what I'm saying. I no, hold on. You didn't hear what I said. I said Candace Owens is done then, except for the fact she's black. But once you get labeled as a racist, you're done, man. Whether you are or not. And this is where our society is so bad. They're weaponizing everything against it, where there are real racists that should be called out. But then they call out everybody else, which makes it to where the people, all of a sudden, it's like the boy that cried wolf. Nobody believes you anymore. Nobody believes Rachel Maddow anymore. Nobody believes the Russiagate stuff anymore. They blew the dog whistle too many times.
This is what I feel from being racist. Of course, I grew up with Hispanics, so I always consider myself.
What do you mean? Hold on. From being racist, recorrect that, because you just said that, so people don't think you're racist.
I'm talking about being racist. I grew up around Hispanics. Okay.
Yeah, but you weren't racist yourself, were you? Or were you?
No, I was never racist because I didn't really.
It just made it sound like that.
Color never really mattered, bro. Like when I was 13 years old, I picked up my first. I was I didn't have anybody. I didn't do anything. I was out there running the streets, and I was 13 years old. But I was living in a place called in Florida. It was a smaller town, but I went to the juvenile detention center, right? And the majority, because it's different. Like and this is in Florida, so if you're doing time in Florida, the majority of the population in the jails and the prison system and the juvenile halls are black. Okay. If you go over to California, the population of prisons is more Hispanic.
Yeah, it's more.
Okay? It's just based where you are. But dude, like I was in there. There was a bunch of black dudes. You know what I mean? And they were all fucking super cool. They didn't know really what racism was. They never treated me any different. Like, they used to say cracker this and cracker that. That was they used to
and who cares?
But it didn't bother me. It didn't offend me. It's not going to make me go say the N-word. You know what I mean? Like I just, that was a Southern term. It's what they called white people in the South. And I was it didn't bother me whatsoever. And I kind of witnessed the beginning of gangbanging there. Right. So let me tell you this quick story. Fuck, dude, this dude was big. If he's still alive and listens to this, fuck you, dog. But we're all good now, right?
Yeah. Hey, screw you, but leave me alone.
But his name was Mike, right? Yeah. And this fucking black dude, man, he was huge. He's from Jacksonville. And back then, all these dudes, they just had fucking gold grills, dude. I mean, it's how it was in the South. It was like the beginning of the gold grill thing. And he gets down there. He's from Jacksonville, right? I'll tell you the city I was living in. It was Ocala, Florida, which is country as fuck because my grandma lived there, right? So I was in.
I got friends that live there.
Yeah, I was in the juvenile detention center in Ocala, Florida, right? It was MRJDC. So I'm in there, dude, and we're all sleeping in the hallway because it was kind of overcrowded. It was co-ed though. I met a couple.
What do you mean? You were in jail with a co-ed?
It was juvenile hall. It's juvenile detention.
In juvie, they had co-ed juvie?
Yeah, it was co-ed, dude. Like we used to, the girls.
What could go wrong?
We'd all wait for the girls to walk by, and you know, you can go and we'd go and get the stank finger at chow time. You know, you remember the stank finger, right?
I understand
stank
it.
finger at chow time, and then go to your homie and be like, dude, look.
I understand it, dude.
Like, but anyway, dude. So we're in the whatever, but we're in the hallway. And this motherfucker calls me out. And there's like 6 because they shipped a bunch of people from, I think Jacksonville is Duval County. So they shipped a bunch of dudes from Duval County because they were overcrowded down to where we are. And this motherfucker gets there and he tried to punk me in the hallway. You know what I mean? Like try to take my shit. Like I had fucking a bunch of like candy bars and shit. He's like, man, motherfucker, you got to give me that shit. I was like, man, fuck you. So I swung on him, right? They jumped me. They fucked me up. And so when we came out in the morning, I was all fucked up. And then we went to chow. And then, like 6 of the black dudes that I talked to, Eddie, this dude, Eddie fucking picked me. I remember his name, Eddie Edwards, all these, some of them are passed away by now. They just went on that gangster route, but they were there. They're like, damn fool, what happened to you? I had like my elephant man face and shit, cause they were in a different hall. And I was like, man, that motherfucker's from Jacksonville. They jumped me. They tried to jack me for my shit. And he's like, oh, for real? And I was like, yeah, for real. He's like, all right, cool. Don't even worry about it. You're from Ocala, homie. And I was like, yeah, I know, but so we get out to the little yard area. And I'm 14 years old, bro. I'm benching 235 pounds at 14 years old, dude. I was fucking cock strong. And
that's a lot being that young, dude.
Yeah. And
that's
he comes up to me. He comes up to me and the homeboy Eddie, he's the black dude. Comes up to me, he's like, hey, when we go in, it's cracking. And I was like, all right, I don't know what you mean, but cool, he's like, just don't worry about it, And back then, the free staff used to come out and he'd bring his ghetto blaster, because that's what we used to call him, ghetto blasters back then. He'd be playing some old school like Keith Sweat or some Brenda K. Starr or some shit like that, and we'd all be just grooving on. And I'd be trying to, because I listened to rock back then, so I'd be trying to get him to play a couple rock songs for me, and he wouldn't do it. So anyway, we're going in, and the dudes from Ocala, the black dudes from Ocala, fucking right when we're walking in, he looks at me and he's just like, this is Ocala, you don't fuck. And then boom, it just kicked off in a little riot right there. These motherfuckers had my back, dude. Like they didn't see race, you know what I mean? Like they had my back. These fools from Jacksonville jumped me, and these dudes from Ocala, and I'll never forget it, man, because they were like some of the coolest motherfuckers that I ever met, right? But yet you're going to come out here and call us racist? You know what I mean? Like we didn't even see that shit then, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm saying, whatever, dude. But they were cool as fuck, man. They had my back. It didn't mean shit. Race didn't mean shit. We didn't look at each other a different way. We didn't say fucking these racial slurs. We didn't use this is racist, that is racist. It was about a kid to a kid. We were kids at the time, but man to man. I see you as a man. I don't see, or a woman. I don't see you as nothing else. And even if you are gay, right? That's cool with me. I don't care. I still see you as a man.
Just do your gig.
A man to
do
me.
Your deal. Yeah, you do your deal. If you're gay, do your thing. Just that's it. Don't tell my kid that he needs to be that way or do that stuff on us. Just do your gig, dude.
Just don't floss it, bro.
Yeah.
Look, I'm
not flossing my straightness in front of anybody. No, I don't want them to floss their gayness in front of me.
What I was going to say is I don't even like PDAs. PDAs are disrespectful to me, dude. Like if I'm out with my kids and we're somewhere and you got these two cats over a guy and a girl macking it down,
Oh, dude, I can't
grabbing
stand
each
that.
other up. I'm like, dude, like take that fucking shit somewhere else. I got kids here.
Get a room.
I don't need any fucking PD. I don't like PDAs. Just I don't like them flaunting their shit in front of me, dude. It's your life. Live your life. Do your thing, right? But your thing has nothing to do with me. Your sexuality has nothing to do with me. The way that you live your life has nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? So,
and you can't force your stuff on me and make me accept your stuff. If I don't want to be part of your stuff, don't force it on me. And if you don't want to be part of my stuff, I won't force it on you. It's like, let us all live. Let's be free. That's the libertarian way. Be free. I do what I want to do. You do what you want to do. They do what they want to do. We do what we want to do as long as it doesn't affect the other one. But when all of a sudden you're having drag queen story hour at or at a kid's school that is like, in kindergartners and first and second graders, I'm sorry, that is affecting the parents and it's affecting kids. They don't want that. And they don't understand that. It's like, rather than just everyone has equality, just leave it as is. Everyone wants to shove shit down each other's throat.
That's the thing is we don't care.
Yeah, we don't care. I just don't want to see it.
There's not as much.
Do your own gig.
Yeah, do your own thing, man. There's not as and everybody screams racism. There's not as much racism in this world as they're perceiving it to be, because motherfuckers don't look at people like that. The majority.
How about this? Most of the people that are calling people racist are racist themselves. All those white people that are calling out and like, hey, every white person's racism. I know that I've suffered with it, so everybody else has. It's like, no, maybe you did. I don't.
Well,
maybe you did, and you got a guilty conscience. So now you are trying to say that I did this shit. I didn't do it. I didn't do a thing to anyone. So don't sit there and call me a racist.
Well, that's the problem. I'm talking now to the parents of this generation. What the fuck were you thinking? Like, how did you let it get to this? How? Because this all
think about the parents. It's the boomers, man. It's we were on Gen X.
Boomers.
This goes back to the boomers, dude.
These are
free love.
Kids.
Hold on, free love, freaking sex, love, happiness, free love, everything, no rules. Those became the things. The Gen Xers became much more kind of conservatives. Like they didn't like the parents, the grandparents. Got in and turned the kids into go in MSNBC. Look at their average age of the people that are the woke left. They're all my mom's friends. They're all my mom and her friends. Not really. Yes, they are. Really. They're all like the 40, 50-year-old women that are out there saying all this stuff, dude. No, I'm not talking. Listen, I'm not talking. I'm saying, okay. I'm talking. There's a big old group of the liberals, dude. The liberal left. Liberals, you don't understand what a liberal is. Liberal's not the same as a left, dude.
You're speaking politics, bro, and it's not about politics. It's about a generation.
But it is. They fall in line with the politics. That's the thing. Politics dictates what's going to happen.
So they are rats being led by the Piper. That's all they are.
But who's leading them?
They were raised with no leader. They had no leader or figure.
MTV.
This is the parents' fault. It's the parents' fault that their child, and because they would know better. It's the parents' fault. So it's not the internet's fault. Okay. It's not the internet's fault. It's the parents' fault for raising such weak individuals that get participation trophies for being fucking losers, dude. And when you call them a loser, then you're a bad guy, but they lost. I mean, straight up, they fucking lost. You know what I'm saying? So it's the parents, dude. And I'm not going to raise my kids like that. And I think the parents today are getting pretty pissed the fuck off. They're not happy.
Well, what are those kids going to be like that got a trophy for everything when all of a sudden they find out in real life there's no such thing as a fifth place prize. You get either number 1, 2, or you don't get hired. You're done. You don't get the job. You don't get the contract. You don't get this. If you are not number 1 or 2 in what you're doing, you don't get anything. And that's going to be a rude awakening to these kids, man.
But these guys they keep saying the word racist. They keep saying the word racist. They keep saying the word Black Lives Matter.
It's the worst thing you can call someone now is a racist.
Yeah, they keep saying the word white privilege. They keep saying now economically does do whites have an upper hand? For sure. They do. And that's a different podcast, and that's a different story that we'll talk about. So economically,
that is, just so I could say it real quick for everybody else to watch that podcast, that's more on systematic racism.
Yeah.
And how things, because of the racist past of our country and our society, of how it's affecting us today. But that's not what he's talking about now, or we're talking about now at all.
Systematic. Okay, so what I'm talking about is economically, yes. Okay, you force a certain group into a certain area and then don't give them shit, and then they have to, go throughout their, they're afraid for their children.
But you're all getting into the other podcast if you're talking about that.
No, I am. But what I'm saying is even though that happened, and a lot of people, but there's no such thing as it today. There was then. This is now. People have given up on that shit. It's not the
racism now. It's the people. It's not the racism necessarily now, which there is racism, but it's not the racism now. It's more, but listen, it's not necessarily the racism now. It's the people that are talking about the racism, and they're looking for it in any way, shape, or form. They're saying literally, if you're white, you're racist. You owe an apology because you're white. Well, what I would say is, how many white soldiers fought on the Union side in the Civil War?
Talk about racism.
That won't be that. Hold on. That won't. Hold on, because I got to say this before everybody cancels me.
Yeah, we're going to get hold on, because they don't understand. That's what I'm saying.
But that's why I want to explain it. Is what I'm saying is whites did support blacks. Whites did fight and give their lives for the blacks. The blacks fought along with them. They didn't give their lives for something they didn't care about or they didn't love. They did love them, but then all of a sudden now it's like all their ancestors are told that they're nothing.
Yeah, I know, but not necessarily. I mean, a lot of the whites were forced to fight that war.
Well, tons of them, but not all of them, dude. That's like World War II. Yeah, some of them wanted to do it, some didn't.
Yeah, you can't really say that all of them did and all of them felt the same way.
No, but there are some that did, man.
Everybody has their own feelings, and your feelings are based on the way that you're brought up and based on the way that you're raised and what you're around, right? So if you notice, most successful people in this world are around successful individuals. They keep their circle small. It's who they mingle with. You know what I mean? So whichever way you were raised then is the way that you're going to be. And a lot of people felt that way, and it's disgusting and it makes me sick. I watch movies and I've read a lot on what happened back then during those days, and it was fucked up. It was disgusting.
Terrible.
It never should have happened. And I feel, for everybody there. Okay. But I'm not that guy. Right. So, yeah. And I don't think there's many of those guys left. They're saying that, a lot of this generation is spitting out that all white people are like that. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. What did I do?
They're spitting out. Yeah. They're spitting out that all white people are like that. And most of those. Okay. This is what I got to say about the white racists. Okay. That the ones that claim that they want a pure race, right? Well, the thing about that is it's never going to happen.
And number one is those guys I would oppose more than anybody else. If I saw a white supremacist, yeah, I mean, dude, I'll probably wind up in a fist fight with one of them.
Yeah, these guys put swastikas on them and don't even know what the fucking meaning of it is.
But either way, I could not stand a white supremacist, dude.
I can't stand them more than I can't stand anybody. I fucking hate. I can't stand them. It's fucking.
We're in agreement on that, dude.
And then another thing about dude, for real, I'd rather be around 10 black racists than one white supremacist, because the history that goes back into that, right?
Exactly.
But this is the history that it is in this and that, and they want to try to claim that. But this is the thing, bro.
Well, I could see their side. You can't see the white racist side.
No, you know what I mean? But no, what I'm telling you is that struggle that they went through is real. These white racists, there's really minimal amounts of them, but they're fighting for something or claiming to fight for something that is never, ever, ever going to happen. There will never, ever, ever be a pure white race ever again. So you could fight and you can run your mouth and you can say that as much as you want, but it will never, ever exist. Okay. Because people are tired of that. People mix interracially. And it's going to be a thing where maybe this is the cure to it. In 30 years, there's no such thing as a white person. Okay. Everybody's going to be the same.
Yeah. Like Brazil. That's what they say. The future people, we're going to all look like Brazilians.
Yeah. Because everybody's going to be the same. Black individuals are dark because I don't want to get into this with you because you're into the God thing, but it's an evolutionary process. If you live under the hot sun, you got to protect yourself. So
that's adaptation. So I do believe in that.
So there's no but in here mentally, there's no difference between that man and me, or that woman and this woman, or that, you know what I mean? Like, we're all the
difference
same.
Is you have melanin or you don't. That's it. Yeah, whether what your skin pigment is. It has nothing to do with anything else, but we divide each other on that because and a lot of people, they want to keep people divided. If everybody was together, everybody would say, hey, wait, this isn't right, and we'd come together and we'd fix it. But instead, we're all in little fractions and we fight each other.
That's the Democrats' fucking trump card. That's their wild card.
But it's both sides. Both sides do it. Everybody does it, man.
Race. The Republicans don't use race, dude. I'm just telling you that right now. Because they don't.
Yes,
care.
They do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Ronald Reagan.
Yes, they do.
Ronald Reagan and Malcolm X both said the same
All
thing.
of them do. All of them do.
Ronald Reagan and Malcolm X both said the same thing, dude. They said that it's gonna
Tucker just did something on the Queen, the other day, and he's talking about and nobody does, but he's sitting there praising the Queen and then talking about all these African countries, these black countries, and saying when the Queen was there and basically the white people were there, how much better they are, and as soon as they were out, look at their countries now. That's kind of dog whistle of racism, dude. It is. Tucker just said that, dude.
No, he didn't, bro. You're taking it.
All right, dude. I don't want to get. I don't want to get into it, dude. I watched other people. Listen. I watched the clip. No, I watched the clips and I watched other commentaries on it. I don't want to get into it.
You don't like Tucker, right?
I don't dislike. Now I just think he's fake. It's a different deal. I think he's fake. Yeah,
but the thing is there's people that you watch that you don't think is fake, right? So I like Tucker. And I think others are fake, right? But we have to agree to disagree that we're not always going to agree. You understand what I'm saying? So I like Tucker, but I've never heard him say anything racist. Ever.
And I agree with that. It's not overt racist, but
he's a journalist.
I know, but there's kind of undertones on stuff. If you listen to stuff, there's undertones on it, talking about saying that it was better. Africa was better under colonialism than it is now. And whether some of it, but that's people are picking that up and saying that it is. I don't know if I agree, not, but
I don't know.
I mean, he's talking to his crowd. That's what he's doing.
On it. I can't.
He's talking to his crowd.
I'm sure if he's saying it, he's done the research on it. If he's saying it,
I mean, here's the thing: is look it up, and everything like that. But it's like
I don't know anything about it, so I can't speak on it. You know what I mean? I can't, Mike. But the thing is what I'm saying is this generation is fucked up. Basically, just breaking it down. What are we going to do to fix it? How do we fix it? Or are we at the end? And like I said in the previous podcast, are we at the end? Is this it? Is this the beginning of the end? All generations, all civilizations. See, me and you have two different beliefs because you believe in God and Jesus and stuff. And I really don't, but I'm agnostic. I believe in a higher power, right? But I believe that there was multiple generations here before us that exterminated themselves. And it's all being proved scientifically now, which I'd like to do some podcasts about. But I believe that multiple generations. So there could have been a generation here prior to us that is more advanced than us that were destroyed 1 million years ago. And we just don't know that they ever existed. You know what I mean? And maybe they were able to harness something else. We don't know they existed. So maybe we're on the edge of our extinction because with everything that's going on right now, it seems like there's no coming back from it unless there's like a major event, something to bring the people back together again, because the administration that we have in office right now has completely divided the country.
It's not just this administration.
Yes,
it was the one before. No, hold on. It was the one before and the one before that.
It wasn't the one before
that, dude. Are you kidding me? When Obama was here, you don't think that it was divided? And when Trump ran, you don't think it was divided? Then with Biden, you don't think it was divided?
Okay.
We've been divided since Bush, man.
Did Trump or his campaign divide it?
No, we just started dividing back
Listen,
like back in like after which we are at 9/11 now, probably about 2004 is when people started waking up and realized we were lied to about the war. That's when we started really dividing.
well, we'll talk about Trump on another episode, dude, because you don't like Trump, and I'll just blow your mind with that, and I don't want to make you look bad on this podcast. Maybe I'll let you look good on this one and make you look bad on the next one.
It depends on who's watching. That's the whole thing. Depends on who's watching and who's watching.
But I'm only going to spit facts. I'm only going to spit facts.
That's all I will say is facts of what happened and why I don't like him.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just spit facts. But I do think that Trump was a good president, and I think Reagan was a good president. I also thought Obama was a really good speaker.
Obama was a good speaker, and here's the thing: is he had hope. He had the chance to do everything he wanted to do, and he didn't do it.
He didn't do it.
He came in there promising the world and did nothing.
He had a mouthpiece.
Yeah, he's a great speaker, man. Great speaker.
He can start his own cult right now and make a shit ton of money, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's got a golden tongue, dude, or silver tongue, man.
And the way
not silver, golden tongue, man.
You know, I think that when he was doing all that, he was high. He was definitely high, bro, because he was just too smooth.
But I can tell you this: Biden is high. Every time you see Biden, Biden is spun, dude. They got him on some good old amphetamine.
But Obama, I think when he was speaking, he was always high because he was just too smooth, bro. He'd be like, "Listen," okay. He was just too smooth, bro. He was high all the time.
I don't know about that. He just seemed it, dude.
Well, he smoked like a pack of cigarettes a day, right? So why wouldn't he be smoking weed?
Probably was, and why not? You know, I mean, here's the thing: why shouldn't he? Why shouldn't the president smoke some weed?
Who says the president of the United States can't smoke weed?
Well, here's the only thing I say is if they don't legalize it, they can't smoke it. Biden right now can do a signature and it's legalized, dude.
No, he's doing Adderall or something.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. His meth is all good, but here's the thing: is because the doctor gives it to him, it's okay. But if the doctor doesn't give it, then you need to get locked up.
That's another episode. Big Pharma. Ooh, fuck them.
And I have a lot to say about them, dude.
Those guys, you know. But yeah, this generation, I don't know what the outcome's going to be about it. I don't know what. I mean, I'm literally at a loss for words. So all I can do is take care of me and mine. That's it. I'm gonna take care of me and mine. The racism talk needs to fucking stop with this generation because they don't know what a racist actually is. Because you know, being a racist used to have a definition, but now you don't even know what the definition is. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. This motherfucker, you know, he crossed the street before me. He's a fucking racist, dude. Like this guy, he cut me off in traffic. Racist. You know, there's no definition for it anymore.
That person took my shopping cart.
He's a racist. He did that. Yeah, exactly.
So he didn't throw his trash away. Look, he wants me to pick it up. What? Am I your slave? Pick it up. It's racist. You know, now they don't understand how it used to be.
Nuts. They're nuts. And
our society has gone crazy, man.
Yeah, but again, it's the parents. If you're listening, it's your fucking fault. You let it get to this.
100%. And there's a lot. Well, there's a lot of disconnected parents too. So,
well, no, what disconnected parents and raising weak children.
But disconnected in what I mean, disconnected in the fact of realizing that what they think that they're being cool and embracing them, they're actually enabling them into this victim mentality.
Did you see the video on TikTok? Let me show you this video real quick. I thought it was one. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it up, but let me see. This is great though. Let's see. Here we go. Let me share this. Let me share this with you. Hold on a second. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this video. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. Wait, I got it. Wait. One second. One second. All right, I'm gonna try to share it with the on the screen.
All right.
Let's see. Wait, is this it? Oh, I don't know how to do it. Oh, wait, here it is. Boom. Boom. See that?
Yeah, I see it. It's all small.
What's wrong? What?
that's not great.
Dude, I couldn't even hear it. It was so loud, dude.
Oh,
Like it
the
was
little
messed
girl
up.
is crying and saying, "Daddy called me a Democrat."
Oh, she's crying on that. Yeah, I couldn't even tell what you were saying,
It's
dude.
like,
It was
Daddy called me a Democrat. Maybe I should have my videos set up before I start showing them.
yeah, that'd be a good idea, dude. Yeah.
Listen, I'm doing all this shit by myself.
Well, this is the thing, and also, which if anybody actually watches this, if you put it in the comments, tell Matt like we don't like Matt thinks we have to go completely unscripted live on everything, not even know what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Like I'm like, what are we going to discuss? He's like, I don't know. We're just doing it. I'm like, okay, well, are we talking about politics? Are we talking about race? We're talking about this,
Listen, let me tell you something,
gender.
bro.
It's like, we're just going to do it.
Let me tell you something. If you go scripted,
it's not scripted, just knowing the subjects a little, dude.
But that catches you off guard, bro. Like that way you can't rehearse your shit. You don't need to rehearse real life, dude. That's why I say talk like that. You don't need to rehearse real life. So we talk the way it is and what we know right at the time.
Yeah, well, we're gonna wind up getting flagged by the YouTube police and everybody.
No, we're not. And let me ask you something, Mike. Are you gonna fucking rehearse before you go take a piss right now? Are you gonna do a couple rehearsals?
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's just it's like
are you gonna think in your head like,
but if you're gonna pull up a video, have the videos ready. So that you know.
Oh, no, I will have the videos ready. I'm new to this, man. I'm trying to do this by myself. I mean, I got a dope ass setup, but that's all I got.
Man, well, that's how it happens.
But anyway, yeah. But this generation is fucked up. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what we're gonna do with them. I just hope that. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably at the point where I lost all hope, and I gotta, like I said, I gotta take care of me and mine, and let my kids.
Maybe most of them grow out of it.
I hope so.
Maybe,
but I don't think so. As long as there's a fucking Starbucks left in this country,
yeah, we're done.
We'll never grow out of it. We're done, bro.
Yeah.
So, as long as there's a Starbucks left in this country, we're fucked. Once they get rid of those fucking things, then I think we might be all right, because that's the fraternizing takes place there, bro.
That's where it all started.
Yeah, the University of Woke. You know.
And the thing is that we're in
all pronouns on cups at Starbucks. There's pronouns on the cups, you know.
Are they? Yeah, they probably will be, man.
No, it's probably I don't want to get sued for this, Starbucks. I'm sorry. I don't know if there's pronouns on the cups.
But if not, there probably will be.
There will be. I think they'll probably listen to this and be like, "Oh shit, maybe we should put pronouns."
That'd be a good idea. Yeah,
good idea.
Maybe we do it, Mrs. It's or they or them. How do you identify? And your cup says them on it. So they're like them.
When you go to check out,
here's your order.
When you go to check out, they're like, okay, because they usually ask you your name, right? They're going to be like, "What do you identify as?" It's going to be a question.
Yeah, I know.
A question. Signing up for social media platforms is already a fucking question. That's why if they can do it, I can do it. I've already identified as a doctor. I was feeling a little jumpy a couple days ago, and I decided I wanted to be a frog for my kids. I did. Yeah,
Kyle's dad wanted to be a dolphin.
Yeah,
it worked out. It worked out real well for him. In South
Park. If I go snorkeling, maybe I'll be a dolphin or sea turtle or something. I'm gonna, I feel like I can do it. If they can do it, I can do it.
Why not? And here's the thing. What are they to tell you that you're not that? If you tell them that they're not what they say, so what? Who's judging then? Are you judging or are they judging?
If I want to identify as a doctor and then I go out and help somebody out, I mean, I can actually say I'm a.
But here's the thing: if you say, "But I feel like a doctor in my heart," who are they to say that you're not a doctor?
Well, let me tell you guys something.
That's their belief.
Everybody's listening. I did 15 years of prison, and dude, I've read every single manual that these fucking doctors have. The Merck manual. I mean, I've read everything. So, and I'm pretty good with it, and I think that I could actually be a doctor.
So he thinks he's a doctor. Therefore, Matt now is a doctor. Everybody identify Matt as a doctor.
Yeah, and we need to let's make an announcement. Everybody, it's Dr. Matt. This is Dr. Matt from now on. That's what he wants to be called. He wants to be called Dr. Matt. Thank you. Yep.
Yeah. Are you male or female?
What?
Are you male, female, non-binary?
What
are your pronouns besides doctor, or it's just doctor?
I'm a man. I'm just a doctor.
Just doctor. There's no man. It's like, where'd the doctor go?
The only time, because I haven't, I'm 47.
So if I'm kicking it with your wife and you walk out of the room, your wife and the kids, I'm gonna go like, where'd the doctor go?
Yeah, where'd the doctor go?
Where's the doc at?
He went to perform surgery.
Yeah,
Um,
it on the toilet.
gangster shit. Yeah, surgery on the toilet, bro. Like man. But no, if you want to identify shit, I mean, it shouldn't. You know what case law is?
Yes, I do, but go ahead and refresh me on what you're bringing up on it.
Basically, case law they use it to determine a case and what's going on. So, say you're charged with something, right? And there was something similar to it back in the day, and there was a there's a Romero Act in California. So in California, you get 3 strikes, right? But then this dude went to court. His name was Romero. It was Romero versus state of California. And he goes in there and he's like, dude, you can't give fucking 3 strikes to me and put me in prison for the rest of my life for stealing a fucking pizza or whatever. You know what I mean? So it gave the judge, he ended up winning on it, and it gave the judge the right. Basically, when the 3 strikes law first started in California,
without a choice, they had to. Yeah, without a choice. Judge couldn't look at somebody candy bar you're in.
Yeah, he couldn't. It was the law. So he had to sentence you regardless. And then the Romero came out, and that case was beat. So basically, it gave the judge the power to strike a strike, strike one of your strikes for sentencing purposes. You know what I mean?
This is the only reason you're out, except for the fact they ended it, huh?
Yeah, it gave
take one of your strikes away.
No, bro. So that's the thing that I was talking about yesterday is so when I was 18, I picked up 3 strikes or 2 strikes when I was 18, and it was a plea deal, and I didn't, or 19, and I didn't know what I was doing. And those 3 strikes have haunted me ever since, because they pushed me into taking that plea deal because I didn't have any money for an attorney. I didn't know what was going on. They manipulated me, and that's what the system does. The system gets you into that position, and they profit.
Gets you scared, and you take whatever you can to get out of there.
Yeah, they profited off it, and that's when I got my first strike. So, it's fucked up. It's a fucked up situation, but that's what case law means. So case law kind of dates back to, whatever.
Yeah, prior cases. So you can look at a prior case.
Yeah, but get this. That explaining about case law, because made me forget where I was going with it. So that was just a educational piece for all our listeners.
All right, well, there you go. Everybody learned about case law.
Yeah, I forgot where I was going with it. And whatever. I don't even care. But
brain farts suck, doesn't it? Huh? That's why it's because you're 48 now, man.
I get them all the time, man. And to be 100% honest with you, and to all the listeners, like, I have my own struggles, man. Like, I struggle every day, just like most of you do, and I'm going through some shit right now that is a struggle for me. I went to, and you guys will watch it as you watch the podcast. You'll see it happen. My doctor prescribed me. I had bad anxiety. He prescribed me benzodiazepines, and I'm trying to wean off of them. And it's fucking me up, and I'm having brain farts and all kinds of shit. And I've only been on them for a short time, but it fucks you up, man. So you guys will see what I'm going through. I mean, and I know you went through it too, Mike, and the benzodiazepines are probably worse than heroin or anything else, right? They say it's worse than anything else to kick.
Oh, the only thing worse to kick is alcohol, but alcohol is only 5 days, like 3 to 5 days. But when you have alcohol withdrawal, I mean, my goodness, it is terrible.
Well, I've had
go through that, but benzodiazepines, you go through it for like, it's like terrible for like 2-3 weeks, sometimes 6 weeks, but then you have it lingering on for like 6 months up to a year. It's terrible. And they give you these drugs. They gave them to me. I had a sleeping problem. I had stress because I'm a young kid to open up, all these offices and have all these houses and stuff like this, flipping and stuff, and not really realizing like that this was throwing so much stress on me. So I couldn't sleep at night. So the doctors were like, here, take this. So I take them, and all of a sudden it's like, I started having brain farts and stuff. So I'm like, I don't want to take this stuff. And then I couldn't get off of them. All of a sudden I found out that I was dependent on them, dude. It was terrible.
Well, that's what I'm trying to kick, man. I've never took over a milligram of them.
You have to taper very, very slow.
Yeah, very slow. Or otherwise it'll fuck you up. And I'm dealing with that at this time. And you know who gave those to me is my hormone doctor, because I was taking too much testosterone and it was throwing my anxiety out of whack, plus the PTSD that I probably have from doing all that time in prison. And, I tried to use it because it made me feel better. Like the first time she gave me one, first time I ever took it, I was like, oh my God, I feel normal.
Yeah,
because I wanted to feel normal.
Oh,
no, I felt normal. I wasn't anxious. I felt normal. I was able to play with my kids, pay more attention to them, et cetera, et cetera. But then it turns into a fucking like an evil thing that then you start to feel like shit again. So you have to take more to fix it. Then you got to take more, and then you got to take more. And they should be in trouble for that. They shouldn't be able to push that drug on anybody, because it's horrible and it's the worst feeling ever. And I'm dealing with that. So we all have our struggles to deal with, and so we don't actually have time for a lot
anybody else out there on benzo withdrawal. I'll just say the key is to taper very, very, very.
Yeah, there's
slowly.
a taper method for it, man.
Very slowly. The Ashton manual.
Yeah, the Ashton taper, but I mean, it's like the worst.
Go slower than that too.
Yeah. But I'm dealing with it, and I deal with it in my own ways, and everybody has something that they're dealing with, and at one time, and we have to get through it together in the separation, and calling each other racist, and letting these politicians destroy us with their narratives and shit like that. I mean, it's destroying society, and we're no longer this is the United States of America. We're supposed to be as one people, not no color lines. Remember, he used to say that? Theo, 92.3 The Beat, Los Angeles. Yeah, there's Theo. He was an Asian guy. You don't remember him?
I remember him, dude. Yeah, I remember him. Come on, man.
Oldies,
dude. Yeah, I remember him. And he was at the clubs and stuff too.
Yeah, so he used to say, no color lines, man. We don't see any color lines. I don't care what you do. I don't care what your sex is. I don't care what any of that is, man. But the thing I just said, listen to it really, really well. I don't care. So leave it, don't throw it in my face. You know what I mean? It's like, I hate when people throw shit in my face, like even back in my drug days, right? Let me tell the story, and it's a dirty ass story, but fuck it, dude. I'm 18 years old, and I had we used to call it cant, which is meth, right? Because I did meth for a couple years, not because I wanted to, but because I was in a situation where I had to, and I'll get into that later, because I had to survive. I didn't want to be in, I didn't have anywhere to go, nowhere to live. I'm hanging out in people's houses. They're all methed out. So I had to do it too, man, in order to survive. I didn't want to go to sleep somewhere. I had to try to fit in. But anyway, man, this dude came over and he's like, hey, bro, you want to smoke? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to smoke, right? So bam, we smoked for a while, and, and I go back over there to the homies pad. And the next day, we had some, just a little bit, and he didn't have any. So he was like, hey, can I smoke with you? I'm like, nah, bro, we only have a little bit. And the motherfucker's like, but I smoked with you yesterday. And I'm like, whoa, motherfucker. We whooped his ass. Because I'm like, dude, you don't fucking throw shit in my face. Just because you do something for me doesn't mean I have to do it back. You know what I mean? I don't have a little bit. It's enough for me. If I had enough for you, I would have gave you some, But yeah, those were nasty days, dude. The drug days. Yeah, I didn't even want to do drugs, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't want to, but I had to in order to survive. It was a survival thing.
My thing wasn't necessarily I wanted to do drugs. It's when when I did them, I liked them, and then I had fun, and
never was
and everything. But then here's the thing: is the fun turned after about maybe 6 months, a year. The fun turned into drugs and what they really were about, and then it turned into just the lifestyle and
it was never hardcore stuff. Because listen, and as well, when I worked for you, I had a 5-hour energy. I thought I was having a heart attack,
dude. Man, you didn't even have he had a half of a 5-hour energy.
Half of a 5-hour energy. So
when you told it, you're like, hey, I'm cool, dude, give it to me. I'm like, dude, you're gonna go to the hospital if I give this to you. I'm like, you can't handle it. You don't take caffeine. You're like, dude, hey, no, cool, I'm cool. And you drink it. A couple minutes later, I'm looking over and I see him holding his chest, and he's going over to the car, and he starts walking to the car. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, Matt? Come on, dude, what are you doing? It's like, oh, I'll be right back. I'm like, you're going to the hospital, aren't you? You're like, no. And then all of a sudden find out you went to the hospital.
But see, you think that's funny.
No, it's not funny. It's an anxiety attack. It sucks. And that's why I told you, don't mess with those things, dude.
No, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah, and it's terrifying, dude.
I deal with it on a daily basis. And
I know.
And I get to from all the PTSD and from doing all the prison time and stuff, like I'm one of those people that it could be a blessing and a curse. So a blessing and a curse means, number one, I can count my heartbeats without touching anything. I can hear them. Okay. I'm too in tune with my body because my anxiety is too high. I don't know wwhere it came from. I think I fucked my brain cells up when I was in juvenile camp, and we got our hold on, got our hands on these fucking, we're 14-year-old kids. We got our hold on our hands on some white gas that you use in the Coleman stove. And I started fucking huffing the shit and I passed out. I saw God. Okay. I think I saw God. I thought I was dead. I really thought I was dead. I was like, fuck, this is it, you know? And I came back out of it. Maybe that fucked up my brain cells because my anxiety has been so bad ever since, and I'm such a hypochondriac. But you know, if you really get down to what a hypochondriac is pretty much a fear of death, wouldn't you say?
I would say almost everything goes down to a fear of death.
A fear of death, huh?
Yeah. I mean, either a fear of death or fear of being hurt. But
Like
other than that, I mean,
no, I'd like to cover that in the podcast because anxiety and panic attacks.
It's an unknown. Like it feels like, well, and it doesn't, anxiety attack doesn't feel like just like you're going to die. It feels like you're going to die and you're getting sucked into hell. Like you got the last seconds of your life and you're like, please, God, just let me live. And you're sure you're done. You're sitting there thinking like, dude, and you start replaying everything in your mind. Really, you're just having a heart or not having a heart attack. You're having an anxiety attack.
I've had them bad, but this is what I can tell everybody is that number one, anxiety attacks come from PTSD. After doing 15 years in prison, of course, I got PTSD because I've seen some fucked up shit and done some fucked up shit. And then number two, it's just, I don't know, man. There's something in my life that triggered the PTSD, and there's so many different things that happen. And there's stuff that, my wife doesn't even know who I am. But anyway, I just want to say that I'm struggling with that. So sometimes I get my mouth gets a little skippy and, I go off on this and I go on that, but I'm trying to kick those things now. It should be pretty easy, I hope. But it's not, never let your doctor prescribe you those because they're not necessary. I think any psych meds are unnecessary. I've seen somebody
they do good if you only use them when it's needed once in a while. They're not good daily medicines. And what happens is when you use them for like anxiety, you notice how, like the same things what you said, how good you felt and you finally felt normal. It's not like you felt it's not that you felt high and you were like, oh man, dude, I feel so good. No, you just felt normal. So you're like, all of a sudden the next day you're having anxiety and you're like, dude, I want to feel normal. So then you take some more and you feel normal. And then all of a sudden you got to take a little bit more, then a little bit more. And then you notice when you don't take it, all of a sudden you feel way worse than you did at first. And that's how all of those pills wind up coming out. Man. But hey, guess what? Those things are legal and cannabis is illegal. Cannabis, the devil's lettuce that somehow God made. I mean, what are you freaking,
do you know
clowns, dude? Clowns.
Do you not notice that I have mixed feelings on cannabis. I'll tell you about this later.
How? It's natural. Grown from the earth, dude.
Natural, but there's still some people that can handle it and some people that can't.
But it's not for everybody. It's a medicine, dude.
I know.
Medicine's not for everybody. Don't take a medicine if you don't need it, man.
Using it for. I have mixed results on it. I think it should be legal. Don't get me wrong, but I just have mixed results on the way it makes people feel. But that's a whole nother story. But do you notice that what's popping up on every single street corner everywhere you go? CVS and Walgreens. Big business, bro. Big business.
I was waiting for the taco stands, dude, the taco trucks when I think it was when it would have been Hillary won or when Biden won. Where are the taco trucks and all that stuff? I don't see the taco stands. I see CVS's.
Yeah, CVS's and Walgreens, bro.
Yeah,
that's what's popping up all over the place.
Where I was watching the taco trucks.
I was watching the Charger game today, and they had this fucking. I love these pharmaceutical commercials because they're like, dude, they're like, yeah, take this and this if you have this kind of cancer. Side effects are, and then they just start death, maimed arm falls off, toe falls off. You know what I mean? You're blind, but then you could see again, but then you're blind again. And the list of side effects, and I'm just like, damn, these motherfuckers are just.
The problem is you go on a medication and then you wind up on 3 other medications to offset the side effects of that first medication.
So listen, I went to my cardiologist here, and the cardiologist gave me, so I had high blood pressure. Now, this is the crazy thing. So I was taking a lot of testosterone at the time. I was taking probably 500 milligrams a week, which is a little overdoing it, but my doctor originally prescribed me 400 milligrams. So I'm trying to get yoked, right? Thinking this is going to work. Well, what happened was I started to retain water in my stomach, right? So my stomach started getting big. And in your stomach, you have a nerve that runs down called your vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve, if it's irritated, it controls your heart as well. You know what I mean? It fucks with your heart. So I'm getting all bloated. I feel bloated. I feel like shit. I go to the fucking cardiologist because I'm having these heart palpitations where you can feel them going like this. I do a ECG, echo, all this. He takes my blood pressure. I got white coat syndrome. I know that I have white coat syndrome because my anxiety is so bad. So when I'm in a doctor's office, my blood pressure is through the roof. When I take it at home, it's fine. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to give you a beta blocker, and I'm going to give you this drug for your blood pressure, right? But basically, these are just Band-Aids, but they're making a lot of money off these things, So he gave me a beta blocker. I didn't feel, oh my God, dude, just taking that beta blocker had me slammed. You know what I mean? It had me slammed to where I quit taking that. I quit taking the other thing, start exercising more, start eating a little bit better, and you'll be better. They just push these medications on people. It's crazy. And I think we should do an episode about pharmaceutical companies and
absolutely. I know a lot about that too.
Yeah, not all drugs. Not all drugs are necessary,
No, but not all drugs are bad. That's the thing. Not all drugs are bad, and even the ones that are considered bad drugs do have a purpose. Like stuff like psychedelics, there's a purpose for them.
Well, you're talking about natural medicines like psychedelics.
No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. All drugs, all of them do.
Yeah.
Okay. Like even heroin. Check it out, dude. If you, I'm not saying anybody take heroin, anything like that. But say you broke your arm, you're in the middle of nowhere, and all you have is heroin. Guess what? The heroin's going to work on you just the same as Oxycontin will.
Well, I wouldn't know.
Well, I wouldn't know. But it's the same stuff. It's an opiate. It's an opiate. But it's a dangerous opiate.
I do know that they do pump these drugs, and they, and I do my own research on everything. So if a doctor, he's like, okay, I'm going to give you this drug. I'm going to go home. I'm going to do the research on it.
That's where I was stupid, and I got stuck on him. I trusted my doctor of what he said, and I started taking what he told me to, and then I wound up dependent on it. I never abused it. He told me take 3 a day. I only took 2 a day at the most, and then was at 1.5. But when all of a sudden I was starting getting brain farts, I'm like, I want to get off this stuff, or like maybe it's this stuff. So I just stopped taking it, and all of a sudden, like 3 days later, I'm just flipping out, feeling like I'm like dying, going to hell, and I'm just like, what's going on? And then, so it's like I take a little piece of the stuff, and I'm a little bit better. I put 2 and 2 together. Like, wait a minute, maybe it's these pills that are doing it to me. And then it's like it took me like 6 months of hell to get off those things, dude.
Yeah. Well, I was taking the testosterone. I was getting, finish what I was saying is I was getting bloated. And what that bloating was doing was it was affecting my vagus nerve. So I was getting these palpitations. So the doctor tried to prescribe me more meds because I had the heart palpitations. And I came to figure out, like, this guy doesn't know what he's fucking talking about. He's just throwing medications at me, man. Like saying that this is this. He didn't ask me if I got white coat syndrome. He didn't ask me to monitor my blood pressure for, 2 or 3 weeks at home just to see what it was. And then you see these things on the doctors say that, hey, man, they're like, this is why I call myself a doctor, because I research. But they say, hey, they're like, if your blood pressure is 180 over 100, then you need to get to your nearest emergency room because you're going to die. That's bullshit. If you do squats in the gym, your blood pressure gets up to like 240.
Yeah, I was going to say, mine used to always run at like 240 to over like 210 when I was all fat, man.
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit, right? Everything comes down. Your whole life comes down to your genetics, dude. Like, your whole life comes down to your genetics. It's the bottom line. I mean, they could prolong it painfully or whatever, or put a Band-Aid over it, but what's going to happen is what's going to happen. And that's a thing that I have a problem dealing with because my anxiety is so high, because, nobody wants to die. I mean, you die, you lose your family, you lose your kids, everything like that. Nobody wants that. But what's funny about this generation that we were talking about earlier is they actually come out and wish death upon people, and they wish that they died painful deaths, and then they disrespect the dead. And I think that there has to be an answer to that, because
Well, that's just called like zero love or anything like that for others, dude. No empathy, no love. It's a generation. That's what they call the Zoomers, is the me generation, the generation of me.
Well, I didn't know anything about the Queen. I never really paid attention to her shit. But when she died, a lot of people were trolling on Twitter saying, "Oh, I hope she's painfully dying and hope she's suffering." Well, let me give a little thing to everybody who said that. Listen, you're gonna have to die too one day. You will die. Some of you will suffer. So I wouldn't wish that upon anybody else. You don't know what it's like, And they say that that's one thing with this generation. They wish death and pain upon people, people that don't inflict pain, I don't know the Queen story, but they do it to everybody.
Well, I mean, with her is there was a lot of colonialism. There was a lot of, she's like the last of the World War I era generation of the monarchs and stuff. She's literally the last one. So that's what a lot of people are doing that in, I mean, not sad to see her go. What the stupid part is people all of a sudden celebrating her like she's good, dude. If she was good, Jeffrey Epstein wouldn't have been kicking it on her at her cabin, dude. Prince Philip wouldn't be, hidden from everybody. Like, no, none of them are good, dude. They're all a bunch of scumbags, So
Mike, nobody's perfect.
Nobody is. Absolutely not. But here's the thing. Not everybody kicks it with Jeffrey Epstein either. There you go.
No, they don't. And I'd love to have a whole episode on him. But this was the American News Show. And thank you for listening. And hope you turn into the next broadcast.
Later, guys.
Peace.